Just imagine, if you can, that we're all idiots and we saw Carot and we don't know what it is. How do you explain it to dumb guys like us?
The dumbest of guys.
Some dumb guys.
We're the dumbest guys in the world sometimes.
So you're dumb guys, maybe. Let's go with that premise. You
I know it's hard.
suggested,
I know it's hard
not
to
me.
like. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but you guys also are very successful on content. You've got that whole YouTube thing
To
going.
be debated.
Yeah, you make money from it. Now here's the fun thing. You got your YouTube money. Say one day you want to get a mortgage. You walk into the bank, say, hey, this YouTube thing's doing pretty well. Can you lend me something? I make, let's say, over 7 figures a year. They look at you. Hey, fuck no. Because they don't know what you do.
Oh.
Oh, no. Now, my friends, it's a whole nother topic. There is, in fact, discrimination in lending. There are tons of laws to prevent it, but when laws exist to prevent something, that's because you know it's happening.
Right.
And it goes down to this broader point. The financial ecosystem decides to give you money based on a set of arbitrary criteria. Primarily, have you borrowed money before and have you paid it back? And guess what? For many of us immigrants who didn't necessarily come from the Mayflower, we didn't know that you were supposed to borrow money first. So even though you might have 7 figures as a YouTuber and 7 figures in the number of your followers, the fact you haven't borrowed money,
You have no debt.
yeah, banks gonna look at you, you're gonna be like, I have no debt, and they're gonna be like, you don't have any debt. How do I know you're gonna pay me back?
Right.
You don't have any debt history.
Exactly, they're not gonna give it to you.
And a lot of us are taught to just do everything in cash.
Yes.
Don't ever have debt, save a lot of money, do it in cash.
That's Ramsey's advice too, right? He's like, do everything in cash. But the thing is, you know, if you borrow money, there is a risk. But if you can do something with that money that exceeds the cost of borrowing, that's leverage. It can actually be really financially powerful. So the issue though, what I just described, it's not just mortgages. It's everything. You want to open up a bank account? Banks won't do it if they don't trust your business is legitimate. Say I want to send you $10. People don't realize that money doesn't move over instantly. Say I PayPal you 10 bucks. PayPal just says, Eric, I trust you. Based on my underwriting, I think you're a good credit risk. So while the money takes 3 days to move over, I'm gonna spot you and put that $10 in Bart's account now. But sometimes PayPal will say, no, fuck you. For the same reason you might not get a mortgage, I don't think you're credit worthy. I bet when I try and get that money 3 days later, it's not gonna be there, so I'm not gonna process your payment.
Yeah.
That's why, by the way, PayPal charges fees, because they believe some people are gonna default and the fee's enough to make up for it. That's why OnlyFans almost shut down a couple years ago, because their payments processors were like, I don't wanna process the people who pay for OnlyFans, because I think when I try and pull the money, it's not good. So it's not just mortgages. If a bank does not trust you and understands you, you are locked out of the financial ecosystem and you can't do shit. We saw this, my co-founder and I used to work with creators at Instagram.
Yeah.
I watched so many of you guys growing up. I'm like, this is the future. Everyone's gonna learn how to build their brand, how to use content, but they're not gonna be able to access money. And my co-founder, he's a smart motherfucker. He's graduated from Stanford. He raised a $10 million venture fund when he was like 20. He's doing a crypto hedge fund. He said, hey, I know. Well, hopefully you'll meet him too one day. One of these days, we were like, we should do something together. Let's build a financial ecosystem for creators. We understand you. We'll provide you that capital. And so, co-founder and I, we raised a little bit of money, around 1.5 million, from the co-founder of Twitch and a bunch of other really smart angels. And we said, first product, we're gonna try business capital. Here's $500,000. Expand your production studio. Go launch your own line of merchandise. And we'll take lower rates than normal bank because we think we understand what you're doing. Nobody fucking cared. It failed. Because no YouTuber knew who we were. They didn't trust us. You might remember 2020, COVID, PPP, stimulus money from the government for COVID relief, literally free, no strings attached. We went on to YouTube and said, hey, I will help you get PPP. I have relationships with banks. I don't want anything other than build this goodwill with you and to prove to ourselves we can build financial products for creators. Not a single one took it. They said, fuck you, scammer. Guy coming to me, I have the email receipts, I'll show it to you later. Guy coming to me off the street, I don't know who you are, and you're saying, sign here, and you'll give me money? And I realized,
I wish I knew you back then.
you're like, I would have taken you. But that's what I
We had
realized.
to do it on our own, man.
You had to bootstrap because it comes down to financial education and trust.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we build for creators if no one believes in it.
Yeah.
So the second thing we tried was taxes. I was like, you know what they say, death and taxes, it's inevitable in life. The issue is no one thinks about their taxes. Everyone's thinking about how do I make more money? How do I grow faster? You think about taxes maybe 1% of your life. And then YouTubers, they go to the people they already know. So they don't think about it, and then April comes, and then they're like, my mom's, uncle's, dog walker's sister is gonna do it for me.
And they don't know how to write off for entertainer. And then they'll fight you for it. They're like, you can't write off your clothes, that's illegal.
Exactly. And so then we come to them, 99% of the time they don't give a shit because they're not thinking about it. And 1% they already found someone they liked. So we're like, damn. The last and final product we did, we were about to give up, was a credit card. And it's not because we wanted to do a credit card. It's because we worked with a couple creators and streamers. So this is one of the cards that we made, right? It's a heavy metal card, all that shit, you know? It's loud. I saw on stream this creator named Ludwig. The guy makes millions. And on stream, he was trying to purchase subscriptions to give to his followers, and his card was hitting its limit because it was really, really low. I was like, huh, that's interesting. I talked to other creators who were running into similar problems. Most creators don't have this problem, but some do, where literally they're trying to spend on a card for their business, get a little bit of working capital, and they can't because banks don't trust them enough. And creators don't think of it this way, but working capital is actually really, really important. Let's take Mr. Beast as an example. He's talked about when he did videos in the early days, he'd take all the money from them and just turn it into the next video. So say he counts to 1 million, gets, I'm making this up, a 10K brand deal. That 10K goes to the next video where he gives away the 10K, but he got a 15K brand deal. So now he can do a video where he gives away 15K, gets a 50K brand deal. That's actually just being really smart about how quickly you can turn around working capital. But creators don't know that until they're trying to literally buy shit on a credit card and not have to pay for it right away, and they can't. So we made a card for a few creators really, really early. Ludwig, Alex Botes, Graham Stephan. You know when Graham Stephan launched his coffee business and he sold more than 6 figures of coffee in a single day, Shopify wouldn't release the payments to him because they're like, how do we know this is real? Who goes from 0 to 100 that fast? And we're like, well, we can do that. And then we realized, hey, credit cards are good if you use them properly. Obviously, for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. If you can't control your spending, don't use them. But they give you float, they give you working capital, and they're tangible, they're physical, they're understandable. It's not just about, hey, let me provide you with better rates, Mr. Creator, Mrs. Creator. It's not just about my mission is to build more for you. It's also about, oh, but it's cool, and your friends use it, and it looks dope. Colin and Samir once told me, he quoted Scott Galloway from this, the most successful products appeal to the heart, the mind, and the ego. We could use more phallic terms. We could say the dick as well. You got it. I know your audience. Anything you sell, it's got to appeal to the heart, the mind, and the dick.
The pussy.
Yeah, basically. And the way a good financial product works, yeah, from a heart perspective, our mission is to help the creators. From a mind perspective, we'll underwrite you and give you better rates. From a dick perspective, it's cool as fuck. So earlier you asked me, hey, how come I'm seeing all my friends with Carot billboards?
Yeah.
So first of all, it's actually organic because every single creator you see on a billboard is either a client of ours or a podcast guest of ours. It builds that credibility, but also makes it look cool. And then we said, cool, let's bring people onto the cards. We don't even make money on these. We break even. We charge no fees. The only money we make is the credit card processing fee that stores pay when they accept the cards. Because here's the secret about credit cards. A lot of the money they make is by cross-selling you to other financial products and services.
There's data?
It's the data which built a better underwriting model and then the ability to sell you other targeted financial products.
Yeah.
So,
I see.
we'll take Chase an example. You guys might have heard the Chase Sapphire Reserve card.
I got one.
It's a nice card. In the first year, a reporter went to Jamie Dimon, the head of Chase, hey, how much did you make on this Chase card? It's doing so well. And Jamie said, we lost $200 million on it this year. The reporter said, wow, that doesn't sound great. Wow, what do you wish you had made? And he said, I wish we had lost $400 million on it this year.
Whoa.
Because he lost a lot of money on marketing and rewards, but he makes it back because those Chase cardholders, a lot of them become Chase bank account clients. And when you're on a bank, that's sticky. People don't switch banks. How often you guys switch banks? It's not.
I just keep opening up more with Chase.
All right, there you go. And they make money
Target right here.
by holding your deposits. They earn interest on that. Maybe you need help for mortgages. Maybe you'll go to Chase. And so our vision is by using this card as a wedge, we, to your point, get the data to build an underwriting model. We probably understand more than anybody how much creators actually make. We even launched an insights tool. You can see if you have this many followers, this is how much your peers are going to be making. You got to build a good brand name. That's why we do things like the billboards, so that you can launch your other products. We're launching a business bank account in a few months. We're also launching instant payments. If two people are on Carot, you can send money to each other instantly and for free. And that way, one day, we want to become like Square, but for creators. We want every dollar in this creator economy to be passing through our products and services. So that's why we're doing it. We've been doing this for over 4.5 years now, my co-founder and myself.
That's so.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
Oh, 7 is straight.
does Carot run off of FICO scores or anything like that, or is it a completely different model?
In the early days, we didn't look at FICO scores at all. Now, we have an official partnership with Visa. We do soft pulls. Soft pulls do not hurt your credit. Most credit cards do a hard pull, which does hurt your credit. The reason why we don't need to do hard pulls is we've developed this underwriting model off of your financial history and your social stats. In the early days, I described to people what they were doing. They're like, this is some Black Mirror shit. This is the Chinese social score. You are rating people off their social stats. I'm like, no, if you're a business, would I not look at your business metrics as a future predictor of how you're going to do? If you are a YouTuber, the number of followers, the number of views you have actually matters from a business perspective.
social
Like asking
credit.
someone to borrow money, and then your reasoning is just trust me, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Obviously, I'm gonna look at all this stuff. I'm gonna look at your financials too. And so we don't have to rely on hard FICO pulls because we
Why
have.
don't you just let me borrow money and trust me?
Is Carot the first thing that actually, like, when I saw that when creators are using it, they're able to see where they stand as far as they have this many followers and they generate this much income from these platforms, and you can compare with all of the other people.
We actually just launched this where
I've never seen
you
that
can see
before.
percentiles. Hey, I have 1 million followers and I make content about basketball.
Right.
What are other creators making? Anonymized, but you can see, hey, how much they make from AdSense, how much they make from brand deals. Because you know today, the way it works, you know, even for the podcast that I help do, I just one of my other podcasting friends, I said, guys, like, what are your brand deal rates? Like when you do an ad read, like how much do you charge? And I was just like, why is this just like me texting my friends? Like this should be easier. And guess what? Brands hold on to all that power. It's hard. I go to my creator friends, I'm like, hey, like what's your conversion rate usually when you talk about a product? And they're like, I don't know. The brand doesn't tell me. You know why the brand doesn't tell you? Because if you knew how much you were actually making for them, you would charge them more. So they obscure it. So we're hoping one day we can share that visibility as well. We're not there yet.
By being an agency?
No, by having the data. Because every time people use our financial products, we learn.
And you help your clients charge more because they understand their own metrics
we can
better.
build that into
see their value.
into good data products that we're not charging for. Because that is lead gen for us. And then when they use it, they come onto financial products, they generate more data.
Right, because the more money they make, the more they deposit into your...
It's like 10 people working in cubicles that don't know what each other's being paid, and then this guy's making like half of what you're making.
Oh gosh, I'm sure you've
always like
probably
that.
run into things like this where you meet a creator and you find out how much they make on their brand deals and you're like, what? Am I just ugly? Like, how are they doing so much better? This is not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are programs that they try to, like, automate that, where there's platforms where you submit your information and then companies can bid, and then, but you don't really get leads like
You
that.
still the end person that accepts or rejects, right?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's a lot of those digital ones that are automated, you don't really get good leads like that. You still need to go through agencies, you still need to build a relationship with brands. Like, that's still the best way.
But that's just crazy that data is available.
Yeah, but brands don't want to share it. Actually, Joe, you know what you're talking about is like AdSense for brand deals, right? Or like, you know, if I run a Facebook ad, Clorox wants to run a Facebook ad, you know, Clorox doesn't like need to like call up 15 different agents. Clorox just runs the ad, and like Facebook just knows like here's the rate and here's where people convert. That doesn't happen with creators because every brand read, you know, a lot of them are a little bit different, right? And like creator conversion, the ability to bring people to that product is really different, and so it all ends up being intermediated by agencies at the highest level. And that's a big problem. We're not necessarily, oh, we're going to change that. We work with a lot of agents. I'm just saying give the creator a little bit more financial information on their side so they can at least know, like, man, I ran into a creator the other day. He had like millions of followers on Shorts, and he had no brand deals. And I was like, how do you live? Like, you're going to make nothing.
He just does it for fun, for the passion,
For the love of it.
And then, but
for
like,
the views.
he like needs to eat food.
Right.
So,
That's why I like that. Like, even if you guys just want to explore Carrot, one of the cool things you can see is the pie graph of like what portion of things is a creator's income made of. Like, you can see how much of it is brand deals, how much of it is ad rev, and then you can see the TikTok pay, which is like a little line.
oh yeah, if you're on TikTok, yo, it is hard. It's a weird thing. We looked at like, hey, say you have 1 million followers on a platform, how much are you making on average?
Like $400.
Yeah, like we broke it down by how much you make from the platform versus not the platform. TikTok from the platform, it was like $500. Now to be clear, off platform, it was a lot more because if you're making a full-time living with only 1 million on TikTok, you're probably hustling hard on side things, right? You're using this lead gen to your own things. Exactly. But from a platform perspective, you make almost nothing. It's actually really weird. The platforms that are best for helping you get discovered as a creator, like TikTok, or you know, less so, but still true, Instagram, they actually monetize worse than like YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
Like if you're on YouTube and Twitch, you're actually earning a lot more per viewer because they're more engaged with you, especially Twitch. They're sitting there watching your face all day.
Yeah.
But it's weirdly harder to get discovered. I did an interview with the CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy. He talked about it. He said, Twitch is about community. They're not really about discovery. And so I was just like, are you just like giving up on discovery? He's like, well, no, but that's why they've made it easier. You can now broadcast on other platforms besides Twitch. They're actually fine now if you go and post clips on YouTube and TikTok. They're making it easier for you to even find those clips because they're realizing, look, people might not find you on Twitch. They're going to find you on other platforms, but they're going to come here to like actually monetize. Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. But that's kind of what I do.
Thanks
Go
for
check
explaining.
out Carrot, guys.
Yeah.